Josh, where's that wrench?
The biggest difference is that everything is of a much bigger scale today.
There's a new board, there's a new moving light, there's new LEDs.
Many more control channels to handle.
The tension level, the stress level has gone up dramatically.
It now takes twice as long to do a show.
That look is that you want to achieve is achievable and attainable, but you still only have this much time.
That time is not expanding. That's not something I can go to a producer and say, I need another day.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting for the technology to get to the same point, I think, as we are as artists.
Well, why can't all the lights just talk to one another? That makes perfect sense.
There's like a struggle between using the new technology with using kind of an old mindset about going about it.
It is really becoming difficult to keep track of all the different things that are going on.
And of course, much more things that can go wrong.
You don't have time for a rig to go down and mess up on you big time.
And if something fails...
The often confusing, always tedious process of transforming the equipment that arrives at load-in into a working, dependable lighting system is about to become simpler and faster. Lighting designers and electricians on venues large and small will now be able to address every piece of gear, confirm that it works, and maintain it from a laptop computer. Announcing Infotrace from Wybron, two-way RDM communication and management that enables you to find everything in a rig, control it, and truly know it. So you can focus your efforts and energies on the art of lighting instead of the worry of troubleshooting. To gauge the impact of the bold new Infotrace technology on performance and permanent install lighting, Wybron invited well-respected industry professionals to preview it at the PepsiCo Theater of Purchase College, New York. To start, they reminisced about their beginnings in theater.
As common as I think it sounds now, I
Started off as an actor. I had been performing and singing and all sorts of other things. And
I discovered theater.
in high school, I was in the acting department.
I started lighting the 4th grade play.
It did allow me some room to be a bit of a technologist, a bit of a geek.
But I didn't have to remember any lines and get up in front of people, which was really good.
And of course, all this equipment just showed up from the rental shop. We have no idea what DMX address any of this equipment is on, but we're going to go find out what address it's on and set it to what it needs to be for the light plot. So what we have is our Infotrace system.
The Infotrace suite consists of Infogate software for PC or Mac, a gateway that links your laptop into the DMX system, new IT products from Wybron, including color ramps, info chips that upgrade legacy equipment, making it RDM and Infotrace compatible, and the secure InfoStore website for viewing lighting system status reports and managing venues.
We've set up the rig. Now what I'd like to show you is at Infogate.
Once your system is built, Infogate identifies each device.
Here, it's popping up on the screen as it's being discovered.
Then, it displays all the DMX addresses and descriptions on a spreadsheet.
Not just looking at the color changer. Notice, for example, there is a 48-channel dimmer rack. We have installed an info chip.
The info chip is easy to install in place of the DMX transceiver in any non-RDM gear. Moving light, dimmer rack, fog machine, to allow Infogate to discover and address it.
You know, the idea of taking one small chip and adding it to your fixture, and all of a sudden it's compatible. Like, it just seems like such a small thing to do to give that fixture more options.
Now, you can set the DMX address of every piece of equipment from the deck.
Device parameter spreadsheet. There's a couple ways to do it, but let's first do it this way. Right now it happens to be set on 1. Let's say we want to set it to 300. Click on that. I have just changed the DMX address of the dimmer rack to be 300.
So you don't have to do anything, sending an electrician back there, anything like that. It's all done right there.
That is correct.
The whole idea that you don't physically have to go to the light to find out what's going on with the light or the device or the gizmo or the gadget or the whatever is got to be wonderful.
To identify a particular device, Infogate lets you open it and exercise it.
Let's choose one, this one as an example. And you might say, which one is that one? And the answer is that one right there. Look at the light plot and I say, I want that color RAM at 54. I have just set the DMX address of that device to 54.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it will be an enormous time saver for everybody involved in the industry.
I think anything that can help manage it more efficiently, addressing a color changer. You know, how many times have we seen the guy up there with a flashlight in his mouth and, you know, what's this supposed to do? And they're trying to address
While
something.
Infogate will let you remotely set addresses without climbing trusses or walking the rig, wiggling thousands of lights and scrollers one by one to find them isn't practical. So Infogate lets you do it more intuitively from a DMX map. Color coding shows which addresses on the map are single-channel devices, such as a color RAM. Which devices use a block of channels, such as a dimmer rack or moving light, and if there's more than one device at an address.
The program knows inherently, like, the color RAM only needs one DMX channel, you know, a CXI might need two, or, you know, other devices, it automatically has that preset in there.
In the case of those that are info chipped, the answer is yes, it's in the info chip. In the case of the other devices, such as the color RAMs we have here, that's designed into the software of the color RAM.
And as you scrolled over the subsequent channels in the cyber, it actually gave you the parameters.
For any multi-channel device, InfoChip and Infogate will detect the footprint, its number of channels and their functions, so you will be able to discover and control devices designed in the future. To change any device's address on the DMX map, you simply drag and drop.
I can also, by the way, do the same thing with color RAMs. I have a DMX address of 80. I'm going to drag and drop it to a DMX address of 117.
I think that the ease of its use, I mean, as soon as somebody sits down and sees how quickly you can address a full system that's hanging in the air already, I think that will be very attractive to people.
Setting up 60 moving lights and addressing, you know, 70 scrollers, things that, you know, need a guy to tick, 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 you know, that. This is like...
Let me show you now an easier way.
Auto fixture creation matches up color RAMs, CXIs, and eclipses to their corresponding lights. With the first dimmer rack at a given address, you tell Infogate how many fixtures to create and the starting address you want for the first accessory.
Now when I hit start, the system will automatically go around, bring up the light intensity on each par individually. The color RAM which sees that light will identify itself to Infogate, and Infogate will assign that scroller then to the appropriate DMX address.
Is the color RAM actually seeing light?
Yes, it is.
There are a number of sensors in the color RAM IT. One tells Infogate which light fixture it is attached to.
We're going around about 6 seconds per to automatically create these fixtures.
Once Infogate has created all the fixtures, you can browse them, control them, or delete them. Click on a fixture to bring it up and control the dimmer and the gel string.
And with other fixtures, say like a moving light that had 15 or so attributes, you would get all of the attribute faders coming up?
You would, yes. In addition, you'll also get a touchpad looking surface that you could move pan and tilt.
Like XY.
And all this is without the console. The console is unnecessary.
And all this is without a console.
After lights and their accessories have been paired as fixtures, their DMX addresses become irrelevant.
In fact, we can go so far as to change the DMX address, and my control screen for the fixture still works.
I think this kind of technology is helping right off the bat the technical side, the technical staffs, the crews, to get their job done more simply, more easily.
Anything that enables that time to be used towards an artistic pursuit that supports the play, that's a good thing for us.
More time to do the creative work that we've set out to do.
In addition to the light sensor, Wybron's new ColorRAM ITs and other equipment house multiple sensors that detect performance and operating conditions. If user-defined parameters are exceeded, the sensors alert you to check your status messages on Infogate.
As a demonstration of some of the sensors, we have chosen to cause a failure in one of the color RAMs. We have right here, warning device at DMX address 98, fan failure, 0 RPM.
Other sensors monitor lamp on-off and hours, ambient temperature, motor current, head feed, and power supply problems, for example.
Obviously, we've put in many sensors that will give you a lot of information about a color changer. As RDM becomes adopted and other manufacturers are putting sensors in their products, all of that information will also be available at Infogate here, which is obviously going to give you a lot more power to make sure that your rig is up and working as it should be.
The more time the lighting designer gets hands-on with a fully functional rig, the more he can get out of it, of course.
Anything that will get me a complete rig 100% working when I have to light a show is good.
Infogate also tracks gel string usage, tension, move distance, frame-by-frame time over temperature, and so on, so you can predict gel lifespan and lighting quality. This information, as well as color sequence specs, gel name, and ordering data, is stored on an RFID tag attached to the string, so tracking history and reordering are convenient. As part of Infotrace, Wybron has made it easier to design and order new gel strings too, through an online interactive tool.
So we're at the Wybron website now.
We are at the Wybron website, correct.
You can find specific colors, store palettes, name gel strings, save them, change them, all electronically to eliminate errors. As your pile of equipment from load-in is transformed to a rig, and before the Infogate fixture and gel string information is transferred to the console, you need to answer the question, is all this equipment alive and happy?
With one click, you can get the answer to that question. Let me show you how that's done. We go over here to Test Equipment, click on it. We're performing now a test of all of the IT equipment that we have up here. Everything is being checked, and if everything is okay, it will tell us that. If everything is not okay, it'll tell us that, and details as to what's not okay, so that it can be looked at.
Or even something like, say right before the, Saturday performance, one of the lights does go out, as opposed to like looking up at 700 lights and trying to figure out what it is and going through the book of paperwork. He can just look at the computer and say, okay, this popped up, that's an error message, that's where I have to go to fix this to make that show just as good as it was last time.
It's as simple as the guy can have his laptop on stage, and I'm imagining it'll become some wireless system, and he'll be able to sit there and say, it's that unit right there, I need you to change it.
More elegant, more efficient means of information management.
Everything accomplished with Infotrace to this point has been without the lighting console. And when your system is totally functional, the Infogate data needs to be moved from the laptop to the board.
Way to do that. We go over to this screen and select Information Transfer to Lighting Console, hit go, and now with our cabled system to the console, we have all the fixture information, we have all the DMX addresses, we have the colors of the gel string, and all of the other information that we've created in our fixtures now in the console, and so you do not have to manually enter that information into the console.
So is that all in there now?
It is all in there now.
So if we go over to the console, then we can see stuff.
The rig and console are now ready for the lighting designer and board operator to program cues. And Infogate is freed up for making additions and changes, and troubleshooting and maintenance.
And these are on? Yeah, these are on high fan speed. They're so quiet.
As Infogate monitors equipment health and runs tests, the resulting data is aggregated and is sent to a secure InfoStore website that lets you remotely manage, monitor, and generate reports on every performance and device.
So you as a manager, a lighting designer, a supervisor, or whatever, can view as much or as little detail about each individual installation as you care to know.
Simply select a show, and InfoStore gives you a list of every fixture, its DMX address, and name.
We have a lot of color ramps. We have graphs of head voltage, of unit temperature, of fan RPM, gel temperature, all the various sensor information.
Clicking on a specific function provides graphical detail that can enable you to find or anticipate problems, then plan work calls and order supplies.
If, say, I was monitoring 3 parameters and if they all drop below a certain threshold by criteria that I created, I could get an alert.
Yes, you could.
It allows you, that gives you all the maintenance information that you need to allow the electrician to say, okay, we want to maintenance this before it's a problem. That is another step towards having that perfect show every night.
It will change the way we work, since we all of a sudden are able to plan and schedule our maintenance and service of the system. We will get readings out of the Infotrace, what is wrong, where the fault is, and when it happened.
And if they can come in and a computer can tell them, expect maintenance on blah, 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 they can deal with that.
This is especially valuable for remotely managing touring shows, cruise ship venues, and architectural and theme park installations from the desktop.
See this being
Huge.
in themed entertainment that is there, that is a permanent attraction.
Rental houses will know at loadout exactly which devices need repair or replacement. And as more and more data is gathered throughout the industry, it can be mined to discover trends like lamp and gel life. So timely maintenance can ensure consistent quality lighting.
And if there's a technology like what we've seen today that can actually help us do that,
Any technology that helps us create things more smoothly and more efficiently, I think is a huge aid in that.
A product that will keep everything that we create on opening night the same.
It doesn't give you the creativity, it provides you the opportunity for creativity.
It's ultimately not about your ability to make a light, move over here or change colors. It's about the artistic vision that you're bringing to that show.
The moment that the work lights go off and you hit the go button and the light comes up and everybody goes,
There's something about that first cue when you really turn it on that's really gratifying.
that's pretty cool.
What's the reward? It's fun. I mean, I get up every morning loving what I do for a living.
Lighting that's what I love to do.
Like, there's something special about this that I'm really fascinated by.
My passion to lighting comes from the way that we can make people shine, absolutely shine and glow on the stage.
Infotrace from Wybron. Find it, control it, know it.